a well whose water has been missing for centuries, and a young man who claimed he would bring it back to life. But anyone who tried never returned. In today's story, you will find out that behind this well there is no magic, but a terrifying secret that the richest man in the village had hidden from the world. What did Zaid see in that clock that night which changed his life and the fate of the village forever? Come, let us know. There was an ancient village where there was a severe shortage of water. The people of the village were yearning for water, drop by drop. The richest man in the village, whose name was Hamza, had control over the water reserves of the entire area. Hamza had only one principle: whoever serves him will only get water from him. Poor and weak people kept writhing from thirst, but Hamza did not care about this. On one edge of this village, a young man named Zaid lived alone in his father's old house. Zaid was very quiet and hard-working, but no one gave him any importance. Zaid spent most of his time in the deep caves of the mountains outside the village, about which people said that going there is inviting death. The villagers made fun of him. "Look, crazy Zaid is going to the mountains empty-handed again. It seems thirst has driven him crazy too." But Zaid was not crazy. He had been closely examining the ground layers in those caves for the past several months. He knew that water is not on the ground, but hidden somewhere inside the chest of the earth. One day in the village, a small child fainted from intense thirst. When Zaid saw this scene, his heart filled up. He went straight to the door of Hamza's palace. Hamza looked at him with contempt and said, "What are you doing here?" Zaid mustered courage and replied, "Hamza, brother, this village needs water. You cannot keep it locked up. If you do not help, then I myself will find that path from where the mountain water can come towards the village." Hamza laughed loudly and said, "If you bring water from the other side of this mountain, then I will name this village after you. But remember, behind this mountain, whatever cave is there, there is only darkness and death. No one returns alive from there." Zaid accepted Hamza's challenge. He knew that this was not just a matter of water, but a question of the village's survival. He put the axe on his shoulder and, avoiding the eyes of the villagers, set off towards that cursed mountain from where no one returns. It was nighttime, and as soon as he reached near the mountain, the atmosphere became very scary. As soon as Zaid struck the first blow of the axe at a specific place in the foothills of the mountain, he heard such an echo from inside the ground as if some very big door was being closed. With the first blow of the axe, the mountain shook as if some sleeping giant had woken up. The village guards who were following Zaid hid behind a large rock. They felt that Zaid had probably touched something that was not made for humans, but Zaid did not back off. He struck another powerful blow, and now, instead of the sound of stones breaking, a soft sound of water bubbling started coming from inside the ground. Zaid put the axe aside and started removing soil and small stones. It was the mouth of a narrow and dark cave, from inside which a strange cold wind was coming. That wind was such as if after centuries someone was breathing from a closed place. Zaid knew that if he stopped here, Hamza's men would catch him and his intentions would turn to dust. He took God's name and jumped inside the cave. The atmosphere inside was completely different from outside. There were such mosses on the walls that were giving dim light in the darkness. Zaid kept moving forward slowly, but he was feeling a strange uneasiness. He kept feeling again and again as if someone was walking behind him. He turned around to look, but there was no one there. Only his own shadow waving on the walls of the cave was visible. After walking a little distance, he saw some old marks on the ground. Those marks were not of any human, but looked as if someone had dragged some heavy thing there for centuries. Zaid looked closely and found out that this was not a natural cave, but an ancient underground room which someone had sealed long ago. Suddenly, the voices of Hamza's guards started echoing in Zaid's ears. They were standing outside the cave and creating a commotion. Catch this madman, he must have gone inside." Zaid saw that the path of the cave was dividing into two parts ahead. One side, the path was going down towards the depths from where the sound of water falling was coming, and on the other side, there was a very large iron door which was closed. Zaid thought if he went towards the water, then perhaps the thirst would be quenched. But what is this door? On this door, there was a strange mark carved, which was also found in the old scriptures of the village. Zaid's heartbeat became fast. He felt that the secret of this village's water was not only in the ground, but hidden behind this door. He was now standing at such a turn where one wrong decision could take him into the mouth of death. Zaid took a deep breath. On one side there was the sound of water, and on the other side that iron door whose mark he had seen in the ancient history of his village. He put the axe on the ground and pushed this heavy door. The door opened, creaking. The sight inside made the ground slip from under Zaid's feet. It was not an ordinary cave, but centuries-old, such an underground reservoir which had completely dried up. There were signs from the time of the village elders which told that this village used to be how prosperous in the past. Beyond the door, there was a large hall, in the middle of which a strange stone pillar was built. Zaid reached near this pillar, then he felt that the ground was shaking. Suddenly, he heard the sound of footsteps from the other corner of the cave. They were Hamza's men who had entered inside. Hamza's special guard laughed loudly. "You must be praised for your courage, Zaid, but now you cannot go out with this secret, because Hamza wants this secret to remain only with him, so that he can keep the villagers in his slavery." The guard drew his sword from the sheath. Zaid had no way out now. He saw that near this pillar there was a small stone button-like protrusion. In his last attempt, he pressed this stone with all his strength. As soon as he pressed the button, the entire cave started shaking like an earthquake. Big stones started falling from the ceiling, and Hamza's guards ran back to save their lives. Zaid hid behind this pillar, but as soon as the dust settled, he could not believe the scene in front of him. From under the pillar, not a stream of water, but a large spring of water burst forth. This was the same ancient path which the founders of the village had made, and which had been closed for centuries. Hamza's guards were now standing at the mouth of the cave watching it, but they could do nothing in front of this powerful flow of water. Zaid was now in front of this spring, and he realized that this water would not only quench the thirst of the village, but would also wash away Hamza's empire of tyranny. But Zaid did not know that this flow of water was so fast that if he did not stop it, the entire village was in danger of drowning. He was now in double trouble. Water was needed, but not so much that everything would be destroyed. The flood of water was rapidly moving towards the mouth of the cave. Zaid knew that if he did not take some measure, this water would destroy the village instead of making it prosperous. He saw that near the pillar there was a stone sluice gate from ancient times, which if turned in a specific way could divert the flow of water. Zaid gathered his last strength and started pushing this heavy stone. Blood started flowing from his hands, but his determination did not break. Finally, with a powerful jerk, that stone turned and the flow of water turned towards the village's old dry canal. The next morning when the villagers woke up, they saw that the canal, which had been dry for centuries, was filled with water, and cold water was reaching the center of the village. People went crazy with joy. Children were playing in the water, and elders were prostrating in gratitude. Hamza's palace, which controlled people through water, had now become meaningless because water was now freely available at everyone's doorstep. When Hamza learned that Zaid had done all this, his pride turned to dust. He came out of the palace in anger, but when he saw that the entire village was looking towards Zaid with reverence, he accepted defeat. When Zaid was brought to the village's central square, everyone asked him, "How did you do all this, and what reward do you want?" Zaid smiled and said, "I want nothing. I just cleared the path which Allah had made long ago. Man's job is only to try. Nature itself paves the way." Hamza donated a large part of his wealth for the reconstruction of the village. Zaid still lives in that small house today, but now people do not call him crazy, but the benefactor of the village. The lesson of this story is very important. Water was just an excuse. The real test was whether we can remove our ego and greed to pave the way for others or not. Remember, goodness is not what is done for fame. Goodness is what quenches others' thirst quietly. Zaid neither wanted wealth nor rule. He just proved that when intention is pure, even stones start producing water. Can you also become that water in someone's life which they are desperately waiting for?